Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to very early morning, that's hence the face. And welcome back to Italy. I'm in a shed today at a shipyard. I've come down here in the Mighty Sportage, which is parked outside. I've come down to check out these new antennas that we've purchased for the vessel I work on. Actually, this is not them. These are old ones that have been removed, but the new ones are just off. I can see them right in front of me. I'm going to show you them in a minute. We're going to unbox them. We're going to do an unboxing. The first thing I thought of when I knew I was doing this is like, is there an unboxing video of a VSat satellite antenna on YouTube? There probably is. I haven't checked, but if there isn't, there's going to be one pretty soon. Well, there is one right now because you're watching it. Anyway, guys, we're going to look at the equipment that we've taken off, and I'm going to explain a little bit about what we're going to do, how we're going to put them on, and what we need to do to them before they go onto the vessel. So this is the two new Sailor 900 domes, VSat domes, operate in KU band. That's the frequency that they operate in. They are 103 centimeters. That's the dish size, yeah, they're obviously covered with the dome right now. One of the things that has to be done, or a few things that has to be done, is first of all, all of this stuff needs to be taken off. They're going to be painted, but also need to have access hatches cut into them. Now, for reasons that remain unknown to me, whenever you buy these units, they don't come with an access hatch. So you can't get access to them because you need to do maintenance on them without taking the whole top off, which is not practical when you're at sea. Now, in a shipyard environment, you just unbolt all of those around there, and then you lift the top off, and that's how you get access. But when they're on the vessel and you're, just me working on them, that's not an acceptable way to do it. Plus, you've got weather element and all that kind of stuff going on, so you don't really want to take the top off. So what you need is an access hatch. Now, these units they do come with an access hatch, as you can see down here. Where is it? All right, right there. Now, when these are on top of a mast, that's a useful position to have it. You climb up a ladder, and at the top of the ladder, that access hatch is there, and you just go straight in. But very often on the superyacht, these domes are put on the ground or on the top of the deck, so that, and these are just on the floor. So that access hatch becomes inaccessible. So what we need to do is we need to put a hatch right there. We need to cut it like that, and then take that piece off, and then we make it so it can be put back on and it's sealed to the weatherproofs and stuff like that. This is an old one that's been removed from a vessel, and this access hatch here was cut into it after the fact. In fact, you can see in here, that's the original access hatch they fitted, but it's in a really not very good position. So we put these in a more practical. So that's something that needs to be done in the yard before they go on, and then after that's been done, then they need to be painted. Because one of the other problems is with that access hatch door being so low down, is very often the dome will have something called a skirt put around the bottom, which is one of these, and it's just to make it look pretty because it's a super yacht after all. So once that's on, getting access to the access hatch, ironically, becomes very difficult. So with the access hatch in the front, that problem goes away. Okay, so why the dome? Obviously, it's to protect the sensitive the equipment that's inside from the weather. Without that, they would get covered in water and salt, and they would be broken within minutes, right? So the dome is on there now. The material is actually quite thick. It doesn't look very thick there when I'm filming, but it is actually quite thick. And it has to be made a certain way. Has to be the right thickness. It has to be the right shape. And if any of that is wrong, it will actually affect adversely the operation of the equipment inside. Because remember, the equipment is a satellite antenna, and it's connecting. It's pointing up in the sky to a satellite which is thousands of miles away and receiving a signal, and it has to go right through this. Okay, I need to keep this sticker. This is meant to be placed. Regulations says that you have to put this on the floor somewhere so people can see it, so they don't go too close. It'll be interesting trying to get that put on a super yacht. And you can see inside here, this is all getting thrown away, this stuff. But there's the satellite, the antenna, which points at the satellite. There you go. And you can see how easy it is for me to move this, because it's so well balanced. Yeah, and I just pushed that. I hardly touched it. Look, it goes. If I push it a little bit harder, it goes all the way around. Okay, so the way these things are mounted on the bottom there, they use brackets like this, plinths, and this is solid steel, very heavy. This is bolted to the bottom of bolted to the vessel, and then the antenna dome is bolted to this. Now these generally are bespoke, and they're made just for the antenna that's going on. And I believe that we have to have some new ones of these made, or have these ones altered to make them fit. I suspect we're going to have new ones, because I've noticed that the distance from the bottom of the antenna is much shorter than the old one, which probably means that it won't fit. This is not high enough. This one isn't high enough to clear the gap on the vessel where it's going to sit. So I suspect that we're gonna have to have new ones of these made, and it's going to need to be taller. But I'll have to check the measurements before we do that. But one of the things they do on these domes is they put these spikes on top, and this is to stop birds from landing on them, because the birds will land on them and then to hitch a ride, and then they'll shit all over them. So it's a nightmare to clean. So they put these spikes on to stop them from doing it. I'm sure I'm going to get some bird crazy person complaining about that it's cruel, but you know, the birds know not to land on it. So. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little peek inside the warehouse there. It's not something I normally do. I got permission to do it, and I had to hide everything that was going on in the background because there's other people's stuff in there. So anyway, but I hope you enjoyed the video, a little look at what goes into communications when you're at sea. If you're a flat earther, then I'm sure you don't believe that any of that equipment is real, but there you go. We just put it on for fun. What I'll try and do is I'll try and film some of the preparation and actually fitting it to the vessel. I'm not sure whether I'll be able to do that, but I'll try to do that at some point in the future. Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to sign off. I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you next time. All right, bye-bye.